Hello, I'm Madison. Yes, I actually go to Vista. I'm really nervous. I've never talked in front of a crowd. I'm going to talk to you about my testimony. We'll tell you, Jesus, that's all I'm going to say. Question that I've struggled with is, who is God? I struggled to answer this question a lot, actually. Over the years, I've overcome many obstacles that have tested my trust in God. If you were to have asked me that question 4 years ago, I would have said he's a God. Because that's all I really ever knew about him. I knew that he was love and all that jazz, but that's about it. I grew up in a Christian family. I knew that there was a God that died on the cross for my sins. I knew a lot. I remember going to Sunday school every Sunday. I was homeschooled. Yeah, I was homeschooled. Shocker. McKenna. Sorry guys, I'm just so nervous. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you flat out, I never really had a social life. I know, hard to believe. I kid you not, the only people I hung out with were church people because I was homeschooled and I never really went out. So it was kind of like that sheltered feeling that it was just awful. So I craved relationships with people. That was my thing, was oh, hey, homeless person, let me talk to you. I'm like, yeah, oh, hey, you want $1? Just talk to me. I just really wanted that connection between people. So then I got dropped into middle school. I have to tell you, that was the most hardest transition in my whole entire life because I wasn't the best learner, so they dropped me into an advanced math class, and I was like, okay, Jesus, help me. I struggled a lot with that, my education and stuff like that. Gosh, Jesus, help me right now. That's all I can say. So I started dating in middle school, guys. Yay! Thanks, Kyle. I started dating this guy, and he was my everything. It was probably the hardest transition because I was cheated on. And I want to tell you that it was his best friend and my really good friend, so it was kind of Jesus. So I went to a concert with my church friends because I've never really had friends. So we went to a 10 Avenue North concert, and it was a small venue, and it was about 300 people. And I remember, I don't know who was saying it, but he was just there's someone in this crowd that wants Jesus right now. And I just fell. I was like, oh my gosh, that is me. That is me. That guy is talking to me. I want that. I want Jesus. I want everything that I never had. I want Jesus. I want to feel his presence. I want to hear his name. I want to breathe Jesus and his love and his grace and his mercy. I want Jesus. Then high school started. And I say that with the top, oh my gosh, this is the bad. I started dating again, and it was really, really bad because it was more of hey, pretty mama, let me not take your eyes off of Jesus and take a hold of me. And it was just oh, wow, okay, hey. But the more I thought about it and the more I went to church, I heard Jesus say, Madison, you know you don't deserve that. You know you don't deserve someone that takes advantage of you. You know that you are a child of God. And I was like, okay, and I'm going to say a verse because this is my favorite verse. Wait, I totally skipped over something. So I had anxiety and a lot of like depression issues, and my favorite verse that I actually didn't know was a verse because I don't read the Bible apparently, but it's Nehemiah. Yeah. No, it's not Jeremiah. Nehemiah. Thank you, everybody. 8:10 says, "Go enjoy the choice of food and sweet drinks." I like sweets. Send those who have nothing prepared. This day is holy to our God. Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. Remember that. Remember that in your head, okay? So I slipped into my old dating habits. It was really, really bad because I was getting taken advantage of. I didn't know what love was because I just turned completely around, wasn't looking at God, and I was just like, oh, I want this attention because I was homeschooled. Not saying homeschooling's bad, but I was homeschooled. It was really bad for me. So I went to Center Point, and I was talking to my leader, Amanda Trafford, and she was like, she's like, Madison, you are dating someone who is unequally yoked. And then this verse came out of her mouth, I think. She said, well, for 2 Corinthians 6:4 says, do not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. For what partnership can righteousness have with wickedness? Or what fellowship does light have with darkness? I took those words to heart. I broke up with my boyfriend. And a friend, cough, Paul, was like, he's like, okay, a friend. He said, these past relationships they don't define you, Madison. And I was just like, well, how do you know that? Being a stubborn girl because I like to be right all the time. And he was like, you're a child of God. And he was just saying this over me during worship as I'm crying to him. He's like, you're a child of God. You're beautiful. You're magnificent. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Thanks. And I was like, so if you asked me today, I can proudly. Thanks, Kyle. That God is more than just a name. He is more of a friend or rather a father than a distant existence, tongue twister. He is someone who doesn't give up on you, even if you turn away for a boy in high school. Ow. It's a journey. It's a journey he brought me through, and life has continued to be a journey, and I'm glad I'm not walking it alone. Thank you.